Good afternoon, my fellow traders. Hope you all having an awesome day. A quick one here on nat gas, gold, silver, crude oil, starting with natural gas. Before I continue, if you're someone looking to join my priority group for free without paying anything, all you need to just go to moneymarkers.uk, just scroll down, and here you'll see the partner brokers option. All of them are my partner brokers. If you click here on view all, you will see all these brokers right here. So you can choose according to your own country and your preference. Do your own research. Once you join them with minimum deposit of 1k, I'll add you in my group where you get major zones for commodities, indices, Forex, and with that you get free indicators, trade journal, and trade alerts 1 to 3 times a week. And with that you also get access to live session once a week as well. So starting with the natural gas. So what do we have right here? I've just cleaned up my chart, just having major resistance and major support right here. That is all I'm looking at. Major support here on Awanda is 2.954, goes up to 3.097. Major support here on Nemex is 2.851, goes to 3.049. On Awanda is 2.731, that goes up to 2.964. And on MCX right here, 246.0 goes to 262.1. So that is all I'm looking at for support and resistance right up there, which I've already mentioned in my yesterday's video for all 4 platforms. So at this point, on a daily, I'm just talking about daily, and then I'm going to go back on 4-hour time frame. On daily, if you're looking at the pullback entry bullish, just look for next bullish engulfing candle must close above 50 EMA. And that is a very easy and simple rule you need to look at on all 3 platforms. On Nemex, on Capital.com, that is valid if you have a next candle as a daily close of bullish engulfing candle. On Awanda, it is not valid. That is only valid on Capital.com since we have 2 candles closed on Awanda. That is why I'm only looking at Capital.com for the bullish engulfing pattern. On MCX, exactly the same, and on Nemex, exactly the same. So we only have Capital.com that is above 50 EMA to look for this bullish condition. If we have a condition, I'll still go for my trades. I look for Capital.com and Awanda data for my entry. So that is something I'm looking at. Now, the reason I've mentioned support zone, that if you have a dramatic fall, that is an area from where I want to see a nice push up. In that case, we have a major double bottom patterns. So that is something we are looking here on a daily and on 4-hour time frame. Double bottom right here, rejection zone, something like this, which I'm going to mention in my weekend's video. On all 4 platforms, have your double bottom zones ready since we are broken below 50 EMA on 4-hour. Now on 4-hour, what I'm looking at, the question I'm getting from few traders that if that's a valid 382 bullish candle, that is a valid 382 bullish candle. But according to my rules, if you are my students, you know in the course it invalidates one of my rule. But if you look at that, it's a valid 382 bearish candle here on Capital.com. That is my sell signal according to one of the strategy I teach to my students. So that is looking at that, I'm expecting a nice push down. If you have a stop loss there, 1-to-1 target looks something like this, and then you can manage your trades accordingly. That is a strategy I teach to my students, and it is not something I can explain in details. Now, for someone, if you want to look for a better entry, wait for the more pullback and then engulfer and bearish engulfing pattern. That is all I'm looking at. I'm only selling nat gas till the price get to this level right here. Now, it is a condition I'm mentioning that doesn't mean that you sell here and you exit here. If you have 1 to 2 ATR, at least 2 ATR target is hit, then exit your trade, wait for the next structure break, which is something like this. Let's say you have an entry here. After this pullback, you exit right here, wait for the break below this low, and then wait for another pullback, retest, sell here. And this is something I will do step by step, keep on selling till we get to the next level of support. If the price continue to push down in a trend, that is a condition I'll be looking at, but I'll still take my profits on the way down if there is condition I find. Now, if there's a dramatic move above 50 EMA and price break above, let's say there is no entry condition, means no conditions, means no entries. In that case, if the price break above, I'll just look for my bullish trades only, which is my pullback entry bullish, and then we'll be looking to next level of resistance if that happens. We have a minor head and shoulder pattern forming as well, which is not something major, but we are bearish. And if you look here on weekly time frame, it is something I have mentioned a couple of videos ago on a weekly time frame. If you remember a couple of videos ago, long time, I've said that we have left shoulder and we are getting ahead and price might form a right shoulder and then fall. Now right here, I want to mention this pattern as well. So for the long term, we have left shoulder, we had a pullback, we have a head, we had a hit of termination zone below, and price is now in the process of pushing up. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to see a fall very quickly because it is something that I'm looking at on a weekly time frame. Now the termination zone that goes all the way from this candle to the head of this pattern. So for the price to form right shoulder, it must pushes up. It is now inside the termination zone, means price has entered the bearish pattern. But that doesn't mean it will fall. It can either form a bearish engulfer, that can be some green candles, and then price might form red engulfer like this. If I see that weekly candle here, again that's going to be after a couple of weeks. In that case, that will be a strong bearish pattern and you can see a likely fall back down to this zone. About this head and shoulder pattern, if you remember and if you watched me, right here we have left shoulder, we have a hit of termination zone, we have a right shoulder. With that, if this close as a weekly candle, if that closes a weekly bearish candle, that is a very solid sell signal, and in that condition for the weekly traders, it will fall push down from here in a long term I'm talking about. So very simple, look for these conditions on 4 hour, look for bearish pullback entry. That is all we are looking at. I'm not buying that gas at this point, and looking at this bearish pin bar, I'm expecting a nice push down. For pullback entry, just look for pullbacks and bearish engulfing patterns. So very simple, just selling net gas, but with conditions like pullback entry bearish. Again, this 382 candle is also valid entry condition, but it is bit below. If you're a student, you know this entry has been triggered all the way from here. Next up, we have gold. Gold has broken below the structure level. So let's make the charts clear, and we just have a previous structure that has been broken. Like I mentioned, it is not a strongest level and there is no buy condition at this point. So we have a retest happening right here. Soon we get a retest of the previous anchor which we got already. Next bearish engulfer will confirm your entry exactly like this, and we keep on selling gold with pullbacks, cut your profits, again with the pullbacks, cut your profits, with the pullbacks, cut your profits, till the price get to the next level of support, which is right down here, which I'm going to redo in the upcoming videos. But roughly it is 2009 to 7.93, goes to 2009.81, from where I'll be looking to enter my buy trades. For now, we are only selling gold, not buying, as now we are trending nicely below, and all the way from this double top pattern we are getting a retest of the neckline right here. A retest is happening right here, means we are getting another fall out of gold after the retest is completed. If bearish engulfer forms right here on a daily, then that is a very strong sell signal. So anyway, we are selling gold, but look for your entry conditions as well. Here on silver, just wait for the break of these lows. Once that happens, we are only selling silver till the next level of support, which is right here, the level I've already mentioned in my yesterday's video. Feel free to check that out. But once we are broken below with the pullbacks and engulfers, bearish engulfer, I'm only selling silver. That is all I'm looking at here for silver. So keep an eye, only bearish trades once we are broken below these lows. Finally, we have crude oil. Crude oil is pushing down. Now this entry I've mentioned yesterday, I've mentioned that it is a risky entry. The reason is we haven't got a nice pullback. But again, that was a valid entry. Same like gold, we had a valid pullback entry, bearish with a small pullback. This plays out, but it's a risky entry. But here on crude oil, it didn't play out. Again, that was a valid entry. We have one more entry formed right here, and which is also a valid pullback entry, bullish, all the way from where I'm expecting 180 push up at least from here, 79 cents. It looks something like this, all the way to 61.72, from where we can see another push down, from where we exit and wait for the continuation and wait and see if the price pushes up. If this plays out, I'm expecting 180, then a hit of these levels right here, from where if you're managing your trade, I'll exit and look for the next entry condition. So let's see how this goes. Let's say if this entry won't play out and the price break below these lows, then I will be only selling crude oil. For now, that is the last entry condition. If you are my student, you know the second chance entry we have right here. Exact rules have been met. But crude oil is not really good with pullback entries. It is really good with chart patterns like double tops, double bottoms, head and shoulder patterns. But let's see how this goes. So that is it for today's video. Hope you got a value. If yes, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, so that we can all trade together and trade efficiently. Hope you trade green. I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, take care.